What do you do if one of your listings get taken down? Do you appeal it? Yes. Still learning dropshipping, don't want to start yet. Bro, you're never going to truly learn it unless you start. I look into your concern. I can see you currently have an amount of due in the shop as well as your related account. So you can't need to manually pay the amount. Why have you manually paid the amount? Yeah, but like, what they may have done is they may have suspended it and then just given you a bill. Do you stick to your store policies regarding order cancellations when the customer claimed they mistakenly ordered it? Is it easy to just refund and move on? If it's a brand new store, I will refund and move it on. If it's not, I will stick to my store policy, whatever that is. Typically, it will be refunding them and moving on kind of thing. Do you ever get shiny object syndrome when you started e-com? No, because I really liked e-com. I definitely got shiny object syndrome within the e-commerce world. So I didn't get it specifically like outside of that world. Like I wasn't jumping from NFTs to crypto, like all this kind of bullshit. But I definitely got it within the e-commerce world. Like, should I do this? Should I do this? Should I do this? But it worked out very well. Can you expand a little on the exact usage of proxies? So basically, just to disguise your IP address. Your IP address is the unique identifier of your Wi-Fi connection. How do you figure out how much bulk stock you need to buy, should you buy for each product? You work out how much you've sold, and then you can go from there. It's quite simple on a small scale. When it gets to big levels, then it's really annoying. Because when you're spending like 6 figures on one product, it's fucked. Like, it's fucked. If the listing gets taken down, what are my chances of actually putting it back up? Depends so much on the listing, G. Depends so much on so many different like things. Like so much on so many different things. Like it's hard for me to say one thing, bro. Does IP need to be the same? I read somewhere that if you use a phone, you get a new IP every time. Is that true? Is that going to work again? IP is constantly changing. So what do you mean? So basically, if you use like a hotspot, the IP will constantly change, but Etsy will see that it's a hotspot. Basically, the IPs on Etsy right now, they aren't like, it doesn't matter if you're static. It doesn't matter so much if you're static, right? Like, it just doesn't really matter, right? If I have 3 stores, will I have to post 3 different products per day, or can I post same? 3 different products every single day, bro. You're saying it's like the biggest task in the world, finding some products. Like, it's not that hard, G. Craig, can you give me tips on starting a home goods store? I keep getting delisted and recently got suspended. So it all comes down to the photos. It's very hard for me to talk about this, but tell me more about how you're opening your store, how you're going about that. Maybe there's something in the process that you're doing to cause these suspensions, G. After getting permanent banned, is it okay to use same ID, different bank? It depends on the country, depends on how you're setting things up. The best situation is to change absolutely everything. Completely and utterly change absolutely everything. Best way to get bank accounts for Etsy? What do you mean? It depends which country you're based in. Depends which country you're based in. Hit 1K rev in a week on first 2 store after 2 months of deactivation troubles. Hopefully it takes off now. That's good, G. That's super good, bro. Hey, bro, Etsy went more strict with handmade strikes currently. You can't use AliExpress images anymore. How do you get around this? Only by getting any pictures of the products of your own? No, there's other ways to get around this. There's a million and one ways to get around this, bro. Like, that's not how you do it. It's a million and one ways to get around this. And you can still use Ali, actually. This is not true. Can you expand your store's niche when testing products, or is it worth creating a new store for each profitable niche you identify? It's worth creating a new store for each profitable niche you identify. Hey, I started Etsy as $5 a day and moved to $10 a day. Didn't get a single sale when it was on $10 a day, so I made it $5 a day again, got 2 sales. Was there a question in there? Like, are you saying that like, how long did you keep it at $10 a day for? Like 1 day or like 10? Was it free spending? Should you deactivate your listings that aren't getting any sales or leave them? Typically, I deactivate them if they don't get sale in 30 days. What was my 9 to 5? So I had so in the UK, we have these things called apprenticeships. So in the UK, you have to be in education till you're 18. So an apprenticeship is like where you get paid, but you also get a qualification. So you're kind of still learning in school, just kind of, it's like a 9 to 5. So I was building computers. I was working for a company that builds servers. So like, think like Google Cloud, like the cloud, like that's stored on just computers somewhere. So we would build and sell those computers. So I was like a salesman, but it was more just like, wasn't really true sales. It was like email, just responding to emails, really customer service. And then it was like building the actual computers, and I did a lot of marketing for them. That was my main kind of speciality towards the end as well, especially before I quit, because I actually quit to start my own marketing agency, which they hired me from. So yeah, it seems like my ad spend runs out super quick with decent CTR, but what should I do about this? Just increase or stay the same for a few days? I mean, you're getting sales, bro. That's the most important thing, right? At the end of the day, if you're getting sales, why not increase it, right? Like if the ad budget's giving you fucking return, increase it. In the past you said 1 product a day max. Is it 3 now? No, it's 1 product a day on new stores. This guy was specific. I don't know if that was you specifically asking for 1. Opinion on fake tracking. I don't think fake tracking is a good long-term solution. I think it confuses the buyer. It's very obvious to Etsy as well. I don't personally do it, and I don't recommend to do it as well. I think it's very deceptive. I don't do those business practices. I obviously know about them, and I know people that do them, and I've obviously tested them, but I don't encourage that. I don't think it's a good long-term solution, right? So like what I want to instill on you guys is long-term business solutions, right? Like I don't encourage people to do copyrighted products, right? Selling a Chanel bag on Etsy, it's great. You'll get sales, you'll make money, but then you'll potentially get sued. The store will go down. You're not going to make money long-term. It's always better to focus on the long-term side of business with Etsy because you'll make way more money long-term, than doing pump and dump stores. Those are just fucking retarded. And bulk stocking to avoid. Bulk stock it does avoid obviously having to do that, but you can just get better suppliers. If you have a good supplier, you can get shipping like 7 to 10 days anywhere. So that's the best way to go down. How do you go about long delivery? How do customers react? And how do you handle the responses if they complain about long shipping times? So long shipping times, Etsy's a very interesting platform because a lot of people believe you're hand making the items. So having long shipping times makes sense. Like it's actually fine. It's okay to them. So yeah, I think it's okay, basically, right? Basically, long shipping times, they believe it's a handmade platform. So if you disclose that you have long shipping times, they're okay with it. If you lie and say it's going to take 5 days and it takes 2 weeks, obviously they're going to be pissed. Etsy took two of my listings down. Am I close to getting suspended? And why do they usually take listings down? They take listings down for just like kind of anti-spam reasons more than anything. And no, you're not close to getting suspended with 2, bro. There's methods to get around all of this as well. When opening a second store, you can use the same name and different bank, or do you change the name as well? Change the name, change everything. Do you recommend to keep listing in seasoned accounts even though Etsy is permanently suspending accounts like right and left? They're not permanently suspending if you're doing the correct methods. Like not at all. I haven't had shit suspended in fucking... I'm getting a lot of defects in jewelry from CJ. How do I prevent this from happening in terms of like shitty products? I would potentially get a better supply than CJ. I say CJ is good for short term, but not for long term. It's not good for long term. Private browsers with proxies better than virtual machines. You don't want a private browser. Private browser, I don't know necessarily the private browser you're referring to, but private browser kind of infers that there's no cookies and no history stored, but you want that shit stored. So like ads power and shit is basically the same as virtual machines. Virtual machines are probably better, but it's very small percentage better. My account got suspended the second day I opened it. Not sure why I got permanently suspended. It happened to me twice. You're doing something wrong. There's something in the process of you opening up that store that's incorrect. 4 to 5 days, it was on $10 a day and it was all fully spent. I wanted to ask, how do I up the sales? Typically, it's increasing ad budget. I would stick with it. Are you adding products every single day? Are you following the kind of fundamental stuff? Are you optimizing products? Do you have good customer service? There's so many moving parts to obviously running on Etsy. Can it be due to me losing my star seller badge? What do you think? I mean, losing your star seller wouldn't have done that bad things for you. There would be a different reason, bro. Maybe the product's dead. What's your opinion on taking Etsy customers' emails, adding them to a mailing list, directing them to your website? I mean, I would never talk about this on a live stream because that's technically not allowed and that's against the law. People think we're making items when it comes time to input a tracking number. Well, they clearly see it's from China, or you don't put in tracking and get the 30% reserve. So you can just input last mile tracking. Sometimes it will show that it's coming from China, sometimes it won't, so you can kind of get around this quite easily. How do you get last mile tracking from Ali? You can put it into like Parcels app 17 track, you can get it like that. Can you make a video on ways not to get suspended, such as opening the store correctly and any other top tips? Bro, I have 150 videos about all different topics from all the live streams. Like, I definitely have a video about this somewhere. Has your Q4 cash momentum begun? Nah, not really. Mid-September ain't gonna begin. Mid-September is just chill. It's the calm before the storm. That's what I call it. Calm before the storm. October will be popping. October will be beautiful. November will be fucking sick. December's kind of like a bit of a hit and miss one. December's like some stores popping, some stores meh. How much is EK? Send me a DM. I do not mention the price of live streams because people watch the live streams back and then go, Craig, why is the price of this? Why is it increased? So we increased it like 2 days ago as well. So top tip for Q4 is get as many stores up as humanly possible. Everyone should have 3 stores minimum. Join Etsy Kings. But also just employees are going to be a very important thing. If you can do bulk stock, it'll be beneficial. What's my mentality on money? Why are you so frugal with it, G? Bro, relax. I want to go run up. Relax. I'm very frugal with it, but I'm changing that. I'm changing my ways. I'm changing it. So I'm buying a watch tomorrow. I'm trying to buy my fucking mum a watch, but I can't find the model she wants. Like, it literally has pissed me off. Like I literally spend like 2 hours a day like dealing with a bunch of dealers and shit like this, trying to find the fucking model. So I'm changing my ways. I'm buying a watch for like 10 G's tomorrow, which should be cool. Nothing crazy, but it's one I want. And I'm gonna start buying some big boy pieces. I want to buy an AP as well. I'm trying to find like obviously Royal Oak, Blueface. I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna get a supercar when I hit back to Dubai. To be honest, my mentality on money was always like spend as little as possible because then I can take big risks. But now I just have so much cash that it's like, and so much cash flow from all the Etsy stores. It's just, I need to spend more, really. Like well and truly, I just need to fucking spend more. I had a store with an overdue bill and it got permanently suspended, so I paid it. It's now just suspended. Are you sure it got suspended for that, bro? Which proxy supplier would you recommend using? Oxylabs, IP Royale, there's a couple different options, bro. Build a relationship with customer. Do you send a customer service message to customer when they order to hopefully get a review? When someone, if it's a brand new store, initially they'll get a message saying thank you very much for your order. Every single store we have like automated messages on, they'll get an automated message. Yeah, I pay, so VAT is not based upon where the business is located, it's based upon where the buyer is located. So yeah, I still pay VAT, I still pay taxes. So a lot of people aren't above board, but I'm above board with my taxes. Like obviously, if I can legally avoid taxes, I'm gonna legally avoid taxes. But at the end of the day, I don't wanna not be able to come to the UK because I know some people that can't come to the UK because they haven't paid VAT. And like, my family still lives there, so like I don't want to do that when my family still lives there, you know? If I use my parents to make new accounts, do I need to change the address too? How do I get around that? Should we buy bulk stock to keep them in private supplier warehouse for Q4? Typically, yeah. I mean, maybe not. Depends on the specific stock. Also depends where their warehouse is. Like, is their warehouse close? Is there not? Like, where is the warehouse? Kind of thing. Like, how much is it going to decrease the shipping time by? Talk more about product research methods besides copy someone else's. Bro, product research is such a key thing. Like, I don't really talk about it much outside of Etsy Kings. Like, completely honest, like, I just don't. The main method that I use, the main method that I use is not stealing from other people. It's just using experience based and just doing it on AliExpress. Like that's really the best thing that I do. I'm listing every day, being consistent, got some sales when spent 5 to just keep listing good products, bro, and then just increase it to 10. Increase it to 10. Or increase it to 7, 6. Just slowly go up, bro. Slowly go up. Don't run it, you know? How does start investing in your e-com stores help them grow? So it's kind of like back-end deals with a couple different people, which help them, and just like kind of he knows a couple people that can help me with a couple of things and have helped me with a couple of things. It's also cash, right? So for Q4, we do a lot of bulk stock. So bulk stock requires a lot of fucking capital, like a lot of capital, like multi 6 figures I spent this year. And I even spent 6 figures last year as well. So yeah, that kind of explains it, right? Can I run multiple shops from the same IP? Why would you do that? Proxies are literally like £5. Can I $5? Can I use US Social Security to open up UK stores? Social Security number is not a thing in the UK, but you can use the same name and stuff like this. There's ways to get around this. You can open up in the UK. The IP thing doesn't really matter. Do you think it's still preferable to use proxies or virtual machines to keep IP same per account, or can you use a hotspot and change your IPs to keep the accounts separate? If the IP thing doesn't really matter, basically use ads. I'm going to just stop overcomplicating it. Ads power proxies. Proxies use Oxylabs or a different high quality provider. It doesn't necessarily matter if it's rotating as long as it's high quality IPs. Do that. Simple, done. Or you can use Incognition, or you can use multi-login. These are very similar to Ads Power. I just prefer the UI of Ads Power. Pricing of Ads Power is also super good as well. Whereas multi-login is fucking expensive. If your product has sale on the first $15 ad spend, but it doesn't on the next $15 ad spend, do you turn it off? Depends on the price of the product. If the price of the product is super high, no. If it's $15, yes, I would. Is Etsy less strict in Canada? What you've seen with Canadian EK members, I haven't really observed the issues other people are running into. I would say Canada's more strict than the UK, but not as strict as the US. I messed up and entered 2 stores in same IP. Is it too late for proxy? Nah, just add a proxy, bro. Hopefully it'll be fine. It's okay to change the store location. Will Etsy not like that? Etsy won't be a huge fan, but it's okay. Would you recommend using proxy in your first store? Yeah, no, I wouldn't. Just start. Is 7 sales in the first month in your first Etsy store good? No, that's super shit. More products, better listings, maybe more in ads, things like this. How many activations until ban have you tested this? Of course I've tested this. It's just, it depends the reason for the deactivations, the size of the store, the age of the store. It depends on so many different things. Do I need German IP proxy to open German store, and also can I use a UK bank address for German store? You can't use GBP bank account for German store. That won't work. Better to use an IP in Germany. So when you start a new store with different IP, do you also need different ID and information? That's the best way to do it, yes.